This David situation is getting out of hand, and every 5 seconds there's always some new information coming up or some new controversial thing that he has done that is coming up. And that's basically what we're going to be talking about in today's video. On episode 2 of Beauty and the Tea, we will be diving into this very, very dark and kind of shocking, because myself, I was not expecting this situation that has been happening with David, and how they found a body, a missing girl, in his car that was supposedly abandoned. The story has literally taken the internet by storm, and I will be breaking down the timeline, who these people are if you don't know, and any major questions that I have that still haven't been answered, because there's new things coming out every day. So grab your tea, because this one is heavy. And lovelies, if you're new to this channel, welcome or welcome back. This is Beauty and the Tea, where I do something beauty related while I talk to you girlies and guys about topics that are going on in today's world, or just things that I want to talk about for that video. But I will be doing a makeup look, like a 90s makeup look, because I think that'd be really cool to do. Here is my notes and everything that I have down to talk about this whole situation, because it is crazy. But yes, I will be doing my makeup with you guys while we talk about this situation. The first thing we're going to be talking about is, who are they? Who is David and who is Celeste, the girl that has been missing for over a year and is right now in question of whether David did or didn't have anything to do with her being missing and found unalived. I don't know if I can say, the other word on here, so I'm just going to say unalived whenever I'm talking about that. And I also want to give a trigger warning before we go ahead. There will be mentions of grooming and underage, relationships going on. So let's start off with David. David's real name is David Anthony Burke, and he is, as of now, 20 years old. He is a singer. He went viral on TikTok, I would think around like 2022 maybe, for a romantic homicide and Here With Me. If you were on the internet at the time, you knew those two songs, mainly Romantic Homicide, was so popular. Like, you couldn't go anywhere without hearing that song. So yeah, that is who he is. I have applied my little concealer, and like I was saying, the next person in this whole entire case is Celeste, which would have been a 15-year-old girl. She would have turned 15 on September 7th. She has been missing for a year. She went missing, I believe, in April of 2024 in Lake Eleanor, California. This month, her body was discovered in a Tesla registered in David's name, and she was severely decomposed. So it did take the authorities a while to figure out who the body was, but once they did, they released her name, which is Celeste Rivas. Keep that in mind, because there is another Celeste later on in the situation. But yes, Celeste Rivas is would have been 15-year-old girl that has been missing since April of 2024, and she was just found early September. Now that we have the people who are in this case, the main people in this case, we're going to move on to the timeline of everything coming out and happening. This is how the case is unfolding as of now. Today is September 19th. Whenever we get updates, let me know if you guys would like a part 2 of this video, so I can go over those as well. But let's start this timeline, because it is a long, and I would say a little confusing, because there are gaps in the timeline. So yeah, okay, so we're going to start on April 5th 2024. Celeste was last seen in Lake Eleanor, and then she was reported missing during that time. Then we have September 2025, which is now a Tesla registered in David's name is towed in Hollywood Hills. Then a few days later, on September 8th, 2025, workers in the tow yard discovered human remains in the frunk of the Tesla. If you don't know what a frunk is, it's literally the front trunk of a Tesla. This is David's Tesla that's registered in his name. Okay, and then we are going to jump to September 16th through the 18th. medical examiners have confirmed that the remains were from Celeste, and the cause of death is still unknown. And the investigation is ongoing. No charges have been filed against David or anything like that. After this information has come out to the public, basically, David has canceled all of his upcoming tour dates. He has ceased working with any brands that he was working with. The brands have dropped him or they're under review. The collaboration with 𝙃𝙬𝙎𝙎 is now no longer happening. Another thing, these past few days, I think, LAPD has started to search his homes, and they were seen with bags of evidence. This case is being treated as a possible homicide. So yeah, any homes that David has, the LAPD has began to get search warrants to go search those homes. I don't know what they're gonna find. I don't know if they're gonna find anything, but if they do, that would be really great, you know, to get closure to this case. I have now applied my concealer and we're just going to blend that out. But the next thing that we're going to be going over is any questions that are still very open-ended and there are no answers to. At least as far as right now, there's no answers to those questions. The first one being, how did Celeste end up in David's car out of all people's cars? You know what I mean? Like, if they're saying he was on tour, which he was on tour during the time the body was found. Some people say the Tesla was reported stolen, but other people say the Tesla was never reported stolen. Either way, the question still, you know, comes up as to how Celeste ended in his car. Like, it makes no sense to me whatsoever as to how it ended up in his car if he is innocent. If he isn't, then okay, that makes a little more sense. And if he is tied to this girl like we think he is, then, you know, that makes sense. Now, I'm also going to be getting into her relationship that they had together. This is where the second Celeste comes in, and it kind of gets confusing from here, at least for me. So we have the 15-year-old Celeste. During the time they would have been together, if they were together, she was 12, I believe, and he was 17. So already this is a huge age gap. There is some, you know, underage relationship going on. Yeah, there's some underage relationships going on here. I will put up any of the screenshots or pictures that I've found. There's honestly so many. I'll put one where they were supposed to be on FaceTime, another one where they were kind of together on Twitch, like they had a stream, but it got deleted because David wanted to delete it. I'll insert the clip right here.
He trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids.
Really good.
Okay,
it's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes.
But at the end of the day, if he didn't have anything to do with her being unalived, at the very least, if this is the Celeste that we're talking about, the 15-year-old Celeste, this was a underage relationship and he was an adult talking to a minor. At the end of the day, okay, you understand what I'm saying. I don't know if I can say the terms on YouTube. I don't want them to take this video down or anything like that, but yeah, you get what I'm going at here. And at the end of this video, I'll like just guys all of like the miscellaneous like evidence that people have found, and it's so much that kind of doesn't tie into what I'm talking about right now, but it's so much information. There's too many coincidences for him not to have been involved with any of it. There's tweets, there's TikToks, there's Twitch. It's a lot going on, I will say so myself. And then the last little question that I have, he supposedly, I don't know, we don't know if this is AI or not, but he has a song named Celeste, called Celeste. People are saying that this is not a coincidence. The older Celeste that he has supposedly been dating for a long time, which if you ask me, if he was having a relationship with this underage girl named Celeste, and then he goes on to later on date a older woman named Celeste, I just think that's a little weird. I just think he kind of dated the older one just to cover up the fact that he was dating a minor. That was the Celeste that they were talking about the whole time. She was never underage type thing. I think that's more of what's going on than it not being a coincidence at all. But yeah, the next thing we're gonna get into is the public reaction. The people on TikTok, which are investigators, like, y'all are detectives, y'all find new information about this every single day, and I'm like, we just uncovered something 3 hours ago and there's something else. Y'all are doing more than the police. Really, the public's reaction has just been, he is losing a lot of brand deals, and fans that were fans you have half of the people saying that he didn't do it, like it doesn't make sense, he was on tour, and then the other half of people being like, there's too much like lining up for him not to have had something to do with it. Even if he didn't do it himself, for sure it has something to do with the incident. He has canceled all of his upcoming concert dates. No more concert. One thing the police has said is that he is cooperative with the case. I honestly don't know if he did it or not. Obviously, I'm not the police. I don't know. But I will state the facts of the situation. He does have a tattoo of like the phrase shush on his finger, which is a relatively popular tattoo. But the medical examiners, the people who figured out who Celeste was, did say that she had a tattoo on her finger saying as well. That was one of the main things they used to identify her. And her mom did speak up and say that she had a tattoo that had on her finger, and she had a boyfriend before she went missing that was named David, which is like crazy news because it's like, what? And then the other thing that I'm thinking about is, if you knew that your daughter had a boyfriend, mind you, she's 13 years old. What boyfriend does she need at 12, 13 years old? I'm just gonna keep it real. Like, there's no reason she should be having a boyfriend at 12, 13, and you not know any other details than his name. Like, you don't know his age, you don't know who he hangs around, you don't know like what's going on other than, yeah, she has a boyfriend and she's 13 years old. You guys let me know, is that too young? Because I feel like that is entirely too young to have a boyfriend. Like, you're not even in high school yet. Like, no. This is why I think also the mom or the parents should also, be criticized, and they play a part in what happened to her because of, what they just let her do. Why would you let your 13-year-old daughter have a boyfriend and then you not know nothing but his name? Like, did you know his age? Did you know he was way older than her? Did you know he was talking to her and he was 17, about to be 18? Like, that makes no sense to me. When she ran away, it was just like, we don't know where she is and we can't do much about it. Like, I don't know, that just seems a little weird to me as well. Like, why did the parents not put more energy into keeping her like away from an older boyfriend or having a boyfriend in general? You're 13, you don't need a boyfriend. The next thing we're gonna do is my brows, because those 90s baddies always have those thin brows. My brows are already pretty thin right now. I cut them like a while ago. So yeah, we're just gonna like shape them up and then put a little color to them at the end. Now we're going to move on to the eyes. Now we're going to talk about what is next in this whole situation, which is once we have a official cause of death, I feel like it will be pretty easy to know like what happened to Celeste and what basically caused her death. Also, whether or not homicide charges will be filed against Dave, especially if he has now canceled all his tours and everything. I feel like he should, if he did not do it, he should be actively trying to advocate for himself. You know what I mean? So if everything is a coincidence, which would be honestly super crazy because that's like the biggest coincidence ever. If it is, then he can come out and we get a statement from his team or the police or whatever. We are honestly pretty much halfway done with this makeup. We are now going to move on to the eyes. We are going to now talk about all the miscellaneous information that we have gotten over these past few weeks Honestly, it's something new every day, which is honestly crazy. Let's first start off with Celeste's teacher. Her teacher, her middle school teacher, has come out and said something about, what's going on or what happened to her. And I will insert the clips right here.
That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we alleged did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
Wait, how long ago was this?
We all just found out yesterday who it was, but she's been missing since I taught her. So when I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month. The cops found her in Hollywood, brought her back to our school. She came back to our school, kind of told people this story. She disappeared again in May of that year, May of 2024. That's when her friends told me what happened, that it was this rapper. And then I found out yesterday that she's now dead in that rapper's car, cut into pieces. You want to know how they met? I feel like I just said it. Social media.
As you can see, the teacher, he literally stated that when she went missing, he kind of knew something was going on, that her friends had told him that it was a boy named David, and she ran away with him. He's gonna think that it's a little weird. He's her teacher, and he was just giving the kids a warning on meeting people on social media and then going with them, and which I believe is honestly really true. Be careful, guys. You never know who these people are. Even when you meet them, you are meeting a version of them that they have showed you on social media. You're not meeting the real them until you spend a pretty good amount of time with them. So just be careful with stuff like that. Okay, loves, so I believe we are done with the makeup, love. I think it looks so cute. Everything is blended out perfectly. Let me know if this is literally 90s or not, y'all. I think it is. I think it's like a little 90s. I wasn't born in the 90s, but I feel like this is doing it a little justice. But as I was saying, we're gonna continue with the little miscellaneous things that we have. With the teacher, I honestly agree. I couldn't agree more. Just be careful with who you're meeting online and who you get to know online, because everybody is not what they seem. Oh, the tweet that David posted in 2022, I'm gonna pop it up right here. Okay, so the tweet says, when I was writing this, I got a notie from you as you were talking about wanting to be with your mom and your sister again. Take me where I belong, in quotation marks, but our circumstances won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. We gotta push through it, bro. Okay, this is crazy just because her mom and her sister did report her missing. If he is talking about Celeste, then he's basically saying he is admitting to him not letting or her not being able to go back to her parents. Honestly, this is one of the most shocking and just crazy things that has happened with a celebrity, especially our generation celebrities. If David did do this, which he is not proven guilty yet, but if he did, which we are leaning towards that, if he did do it, I have a few questions. But to make a long story short, this is one of the craziest things. We have no information about it, so we don't know if the reason he did it, we don't know. What we do know is that we do need to get justice for this young girl, and also I would like to hold the parents accountable at some degree, because they failed their daughter. They let her go and have a boyfriend at 13, which you shouldn't have, in my opinion. I would like you guys to drop any of your thoughts, what you think is going on, comments on the situation down below, and just let me know what you guys are feeling right now. For me, as someone who has listened to his music since he's come out, I've been to his past 2 concerts from his 2 albums, one that recently just dropped and then the one before that, the newer. It's just like you really don't know who these celebrities are. You don't know anything besides of what they show you and what they put on the internet, basically for you to see what they want you to see. That is it for today's video, girly. Comment down below also if you guys like this little makeup look on me. I think it's pretty cute. It's like a simple makeup style, but it's also like you're not doing too much but you're not doing too little, if you know what I mean. Yeah, this was episode 2 of Beauty and the Tea. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video, because I will be coming out with more content. Honestly, right after this video I will be filming another one, doing another topic, which I'm excited about, something new that I haven't done on the channel before, just to see how, you know, it goes. Stay safe, girlies and guys. Stay safe out there. Please be mindful of who you interact with on social media and outside of social media as well, and I will see you girlies and guys in the next video. Bye.